Hi Internet, welcome to the Greg Troyan YouTube channel, and welcome to Greg's 14 Adventures, a weekly vlog where I discuss my journey through Final Fantasy XIV as a first-time player. I beat A Realm Reborn back in 2022, and I'm finally finishing up the rest of the game. These vlogs are documenting my journey. If you like these videos and want to support their continued production, the best way to do that is to like the video, share it on a relevant social media site like Reddit, and leave a comment. Thanks, pal. Yo, so it's been kind of like crazy busy over here in the Greg Troyan household the last couple weeks. So last week I had a ton of overtime, a leak coming from my laundry room, recorded a demo for a band, and did a live stream on top of the weekly vlog and the weekly Thin Lizzy Thursdays. And so I think, oh, well, maybe this week won't be as bad with the holiday and stuff, but I've actually got a bunch of extra work hours before the holiday kicks in. So I'll be off for Thanksgiving and have a 4-day weekend, but I've got a bunch of extra hours before the holiday coming up. So extra crunch time, still dealing with issues in the laundry room. And so because of that, like really tight crunch, I'm recording this vlog way earlier than I normally do. I normally record my voiceover for the vlogs either Wednesday or Thursday and get the vlog itself edited Wednesday or Thursday. But this is actually being recorded Monday before work because I know I won't have enough time to get the vlog done otherwise. Just because I know Thanksgiving, I'm going to be busy all day, so there won't be necessarily time to record and edit the vlog then. And just with the tight schedule this week, this was really like the only time I was going to have the ability to record, and also to make sure I had enough time to edit the vlog and get it done in time. Because sometimes they can take a little bit longer to edit, but I don't think this one should be too difficult to do. So my entire playtime this week, aside from my Summoner Jobin session, which won't be included in this vlog, but that'll be included in next week's vlog because this was recorded before my Summoner Jobin play session. My entire playtime this week was for a short session, maybe like an hour and a half, or maybe 2 hours, that I did before my Taylor Swift live stream on Saturday. I basically knocked out all of the Warring Triad quests in a single play session, and so this vlog will be discussing my thoughts on the Warring Triad quests and my experiences with them. Basically, all of the Warring Triad quests follow pretty much the same structure. It starts with going and talking with Unukalhai in the Rising Stones, and then he's like, hey, go to Azazla and there'll be a duty. And that's basically every single quest is that structure. Talk with Unukalhai, go to Azazla, and then there will be a trial, except for one, which is a solo instance duty. But otherwise, like that is the structure of all of these quests. And so the going back and forth is honestly a little bit to like, can we just have like done all this, like go to Azazla once and then just knock all these out? But guess not. You know, in terms of the general plot structure, and the general plot is basically Unukalhai is like, hey, my master says we need to stop these Warring Triad guys from getting out and causing chaos, so please go take care of them, Warrior of Light. But he's also being very sus and secretive and not telling us a bunch of stuff. This plotline doesn't feel like I really need to do a full beat-for-beat summary of it because it is so repetitive in many ways, of just like, talk to Unukalhai, go to Azazla, fight a boss, the end. So I'm only going to touch on variances that I feel are significant enough to mention because they are there, but it just feels very silly to say, we talked to Unukalhai, and then we went and fought this boss, and then we went back to the Rising Stones and talked to him again. So I'm not going to do a beat-by-beat summary for this quest line. So the other opposing force in this conflict, aside from the Warring Triad themselves, are the Empire and specifically the 6th Legion trying to utilize the power of the Warring Triad for the sake of the Empire. The 6th Legion being led by Regula Van Hydrus. And so the one solo duty in this entire questline is basically fighting against the 6th Legion and a boss battle against Regula, because somehow they were able to get into the innermost depths of Azazla despite magical barriers that should prevent them from going in there. And after we complete the duty, the solo duty, it's revealed that Unukalhai was the one who broke the barrier for the Empire in hopes that it would lead to a conflict with the Warrior of Light and that Lyta would kill Regula and take care of the Empire so they would be less of a threat in reviving the Warring Triad. And so Unukalhai, throughout this entire questline, like I said, he's very secretive, manipulative, not revealing his full intentions, and he just comes off as very suspicious. Eventually it's revealed that Unukalhai is from another world where they have Auracite, and that made me wonder if that he's from Ivalice, because that is the only FF game series that I know that has Auracite. But then it's later revealed that he's actually not from Ivalice, he's from the Void, which is 14 specific. But anyway, the final duty against the final trio member of the Warring Triad, Zervan, alternates the plot a little bit in that we actually team up with the Empire before going into the fight. Regula offers an alliance with us because his men have become turned under the influence of Zervan, the final icon, and he wants to save his soldiers. He is a good leader who cares about his people and doesn't want them to die needlessly. So he's like, hey, we have a mutual interest. I don't want my people to die. You want to stop this Warring Triad. Let's work together. And so it was very cool to have an alliance with a member of the Empire. And so we go into the innermost depths of Azaslav to stop the device that's feeding ether to Zervan. And in the process, Regula ends up sacrificing himself to save Unukalhai. And that is actually a really great bit of writing because on a number of levels, because it shows that, he wasn't purely a villainous character and had a moral code. But on top of that, Unukalhai did all these shady manipulations to basically have Regula killed and was trying to manipulate the War of Light into killing Regula. And so to have this theoretically heroic character, Unukalhai, doing these very shady machinations to kill an opponent, a very non-heroic way of doing things like manipulating parties to fight each other, and then to have that same supposedly villainous character sacrifice himself heroically for the guy who tried to have him killed, that was beautiful poetry, layered and nuanced, and I just thought that was great. A lot of the writing was just okay, whatever, we're fighting the Warring Triad, and I didn't really care. The lore wasn't super interesting. It just felt like a lot of stuff I kind of got from the Bahamut quest line. It just felt like I just got more of that without anything significantly interesting added to the lore. But this entire thing with Regula and Unukalhai, that was chef's kiss. That was great. That was really excellent storytelling. And anyway, after defeating Zervan is when Unukalhai reveals that he's from the Void and accepts, having friends, relying on other people, not being so secretive. He takes off his mask and learns the lesson that being a hero is based upon your deeds, not necessarily your ideals. Because he always was talking about how, I'm not really a hero, I'm too young and I wasn't able to save my world because I wasn't old enough to be a warrior of light, and, I don't have what it takes to be a hero because I'm not strong enough. And through, what he learns from Regula sacrificing himself and the signs working together, no, it's about what you do, is what matters ultimately. A politician, can say a bunch of things, but it depends on what they actually do. Trump can be like, I'm for the working class, and then he does policies that hurts the working class. So it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. And I thought that was a great lesson. So, lore-wise, it's I don't know, a 5 out of 10. It was whatever, I don't really care. But all this stuff, that's a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I really liked that. Now, the second half of this vlog is going to be me discussing how I felt about this from a gameplay perspective. But before I get into that, this is the mid-video call to action. This is the part of the video where I tell you to like the video, comment on the video, tell me what you think about my thoughts, and tell me your thoughts about this section, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend. Share it on Reddit or Blue Sky or just any place that you would share a video and be like, hey, these 14 vlogs, they're pretty fun. I like that this guy does them every week, and it's fun just chatting about 14 with him. And if you want to chat with me, join my Discord server. It's a very chill place. The main rule there is be chill, be nice, don't be a jerk. And then the secondary rule is keep it PG-13-ish. Swearing is fine, but there might be some teenagers there and some people at work. But yeah, just don't post anything overly explicit, just for the sake, you don't know who might be over someone's shoulder. So just keep it chill. I've also got a live stream coming up way in the distant month of February. That's going to be pretty fun. We're going to be doing a ranking of all of the songs from my band's first 2 albums, excluding bonus tracks, and excluding the song I wrote about my wife because I don't want it to be awkward if that one ranks low. So we're just going to exclude it. But it's going to be a fun live stream, and if you want to participate in the live stream, just listen to those 2 albums. I'll have them linked in the description if you want to check them out. And then just shoot me an email at greg@lipstickgeneration.com or just DM me, join my Discord server, and then send me a DM with your ranking. And then we're going to be adding up all the votes to see where the songs ultimately rank. So that'll be pretty fun. But you got a couple months before that. But yeah, mid-video call to action over. Let's talk about the gameplay of the Warring Triad quests. So for the first fight against Sephiroth, I joined the Duty Finder, but it was early in the morning and nobody was on. And so after hanging out in the Duty Finder for like 15 minutes or so, I say, you know what, I'm going to try the fight unsynced and see if I can take out Sephiroth by myself. This is a level 60 trial, I'm like in the 80s, I could probably do this. And I was doing pretty well in the fight, but I kept dying to a one-hit kill, which, again, I hate 14's one-hit kill mechanics. I don't think a lot of them are spelled out very clearly, and some of the ones that are spelled out clearly are kind of difficult to execute what they want you to do in order to survive the attack. And so I fought Sephiroth a couple times and kept dying to a one-hit kill, which apparently I could avoid if I killed a different monster that was spawned, but I had my screen fully zoomed out and thought that I killed that monster whenever it came up. So I don't know if like another one spawned and I just didn't see it, but it wasn't very clear that that was what you had to do to survive what is otherwise a one-hit kill move. And it's also still very annoying because I was basically at max health or very close to max health, and that still did nothing. The one-hit kills in 14 are not satisfying from a gameplay perspective. It's not like, ooh, this is a fun challenge. It's like, no, it just feels cheap. And so the weird thing about 14 is, even though I'm becoming more comfortable with the actual mechanics of like how to play my job, how to do rotations, different spells and such, and different strategies, how to avoid certain things, like I'm understanding 14 more and more as a game and vibing with it and appreciating it in ways that I didn't in the past. Like there's still stuff like this that I just think is just dumb and bad game design, and I don't like it. Again, I think you can punish someone severely for missing a mechanic, but I think the one-hit kills are just bad. And there's so many of them. 11, as brutal as that game is, has less one-hit kills than 14 does. So yeah, I just do not like that. I think it's bad. I think it is actively bad. You know, I'm admittedly a gamer who like isn't as much into gameplay, as hilarious as that sounds. I'm a story-first gamer. And so I understand that people like more of a challenge in their gameplay mechanics, but this doesn't feel like a challenge, it just feels like something cheap. And I don't like it. But then I posted on my Discord server, and a couple of friends I met through doing these vlogs, people who found my channel from the vlogs or my Final Fantasy XI video essay, they happened to be on the Discord server, and were like, yeah, we'll help you do the duties. And so Sean Darko and Adriana Raphael logged in, joined my party, and helped me beat Sephiroth, and stayed logged in and just played cards in Lower Juno while I did all the story cutscenes and stuff in between, and just hung out with me until I was able to beat all of the Warring Triad quests. So they hung out and were, you know, just patiently doing other things in 14 until I was ready to do the duties. And so I'm just really grateful for them helping me out with these. That was super cool of them. I mean, it's really awesome that I have people who are wanting to help me through my 14 journey, and also just like, you know, they're cool people who I'm chatting with on my Discord about like music and politics and all kinds of things. I'm really grateful for 14 for the social aspect of it, where even though I'm not as much of an MMO guy in general, I'm really appreciating the people I'm meeting on this journey, sharing this journey with you through the vlogs and discussing it and making friends. And then, you know, some of those people hopping over to my Discord and then playing the game with me. I think that's super fun. Like, I used to be such a skeptic towards the MMOs in the Final Fantasy series, but I'm really appreciating what they offer because they're still offering me that great Final Fantasy single-player storytelling experience that I want, but I'm making, like, actual connections with people and, you know, discussing life and then having them help me on this Final Fantasy 14 journey. It is cool, and I really do appreciate it. I think it's a wonderful part of 14 and 11, and it makes me definitely encourage people to try out the MMOs. I was an MMO skeptic, and I was wrong. I am a convert to the MMOs. But yeah, like I said, we did the Sephiroth fight unsynced, just the three of us. It was fine. Demolished that fight. It was great. And then, you know, I moved on to doing the solo instance duty, which I died once during because I did not see Y'stola's message in the corner of the screen saying, hey, come under this barrier. And it was a one-hit kill, so even though being at max health, if you miss that message in the corner of the screen, you will die. Again, 14 one-hit kill mechanics, annoying, obnoxious. This one was less bad because they at least gave you an indicator in text what to do, and in retrospect, if I had like zoomed out a bit more, like seeing Y'stola put up a barrier like that one is a bit more intuitive. But if you don't see that message, which I didn't the first time, and the only reason I figured out how to do it was because I looked back at my log to see if there was something that I missed. So if you didn't see that message, it's still the one-hit kills are cheap. I'm sorry, the one-hit kills are so cheap and so stupid, and having to do that entire duty over again because of that one-hit kill. is dumb. I'm sorry, I don't like it. It would be nice, like, even like a voice acting would be nice there. Like, hey, get under the barrier. Just, you could throw in a line of dialogue there. I'm guessing they do that in later expansions, but I hate the one-hit kills in 14 so much. I hate them so much. But yeah, the other duties in the Warring Triad questline, there wasn't really too much to say about them because, they were just solid boss fights that we demolished by being overleveled. I did go back and listen to the music from the different boss fights because we would kill the bosses before they got into the latter half of the music. And they were pretty solid. I liked them, but they didn't blow me away like a lot of people say those boss themes blow them away and how much they like the 14 rock vocal tracks that Soken writes. Like, they just don't do anything for me, at least the ones that I've heard. I'm just like, this is fine, but I'm not... I like the other music in 14 better than pretty much all the vocal rock boss tracks that I've heard. Like, if I was to rank the 14 OST, a lot of those vocal rock songs would rank pretty much towards the bottom. I think it might be because there's not as much melody in the ones that I've heard. The vocals are kind of a bit atonal, and I tend to like more melody with my vocals, and so they're almost like a rap vocal with how little melody there is. And so the instrumental track is actually pretty interesting and pretty fun, but the vocal itself, just like that distortion kind of rap vocal, just like doesn't really do anything for me. No shade against Koji Fox, dude's great, but it doesn't vibe with me. So yeah, overall thoughts on the Warring Triad quests. Lore-wise, it didn't really add too much for me. Regula and Unukalhai were definitely the highlights. They were pretty interesting with their dynamics, and I thought they were really well written, so that was definitely the best part of this questline. I loved how shady Unukalhai was, and how he was willing to manipulate things for what he thought were good outcomes, which really made him feel very Evilisian in terms of his writing, and so I was shocked that it wasn't revealed he was from Evilis. And Regula's heroism at the end was really moving, and I really loved that. So, I'm a bit mixed on this storyline because I think the repetitious nature of it definitely hurt the interest level I had in the storyline. The lore was less interesting than I thought it would be, but the character writing was much better than I thought it would be, so I still liked it. It was definitely better than the Primal Trials in A Realm Reborn, but, it still wasn't the most interesting quest line in 14. It's possible that just, the trials are just going to be more, mid-tier storytelling in general in 14. And so maybe I just need to set the expectation that the trials are going to be just okay and not going to blow my mind. And so I think I have this unfortunate expectation, because of 14 having the reputation of being the best Final Fantasy game from so many people, that I'm thinking, everything after A Realm Reborn has to be the best of the best of the best of the series. So the trials need to blow my mind, the raids need to blow my mind, everything needs to blow my mind non-stop in 14 because it's so good. Because everyone's like, it's the best Final Fantasy game, it's amazing, it's going to blow your mind. And this was something that I wanted to blow my mind and didn't. At least with the lore and the fights themselves, and the music didn't even blow my mind either. But it did give me some really powerful storytelling that I appreciated a ton, and also a really excellent social experience that I'm going to value for a long time. Just people who are willing to, help me out on a Saturday morning just because they want to help me out. That is just so cool. I just appreciate that so much. So I think I just have to, set my expectations maybe a little bit lower, not wanting everything in 14 to blow my mind, and just sort of taking everything as it comes. So maybe, reduce my hype level I have for Shadowbringers and just be see what it is. Don't think it's going to be amazing. Don't think it's going to suck. Just accept everything as it comes and then make your own decision. I'm generally pretty good about that, but maybe because I've been putting off 14 for so long, for so many years, I'm like, come on, be amazing, blow me away. But yeah, thus far, the best side content, actually the best content in 14 has been by far probably the Hildebrand stuff. Hildebrand, A Realm Reborn, and Hildebrand Heavensward. I think that's been the peak of 14 thus far. But I'm hoping the Alexander stuff is really great. I'm hoping the Alexander stuff, which is next on my list, is on that same level of the Hildebrand quest line. Fingers crossed that it is, because I really want to be blown away by 14. And instead, I'm just really liking 14, being frustrated at some parts, but I want to be blown away so bad. Will I be blown away? Only time will tell. Maybe I've just got to see MXL and be like, oh, he does live up to that villain hype. He is that amazing. Everyone who's saying he's one of the best villains in the series is right. But, you know, I want something to blow me away before I get to Shadowbringer. So hopefully something blows me away soon. But again, thanks so much for watching. That's the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And hey, join my Discord in case you want to also be someone who's helped me out on a random Saturday morning when I have time to play 14, or whatever random time I'm playing 14, because my schedule's a little bit all over the place and weird. But once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.